Hello everyone, and welcome to our last video in this brief series on how to use Google Slides. And this one will focus on presenting. Okay, so there's some really neat features here that I really like. But just to start off, if you're on your main page of your slideshow, you can just press present, and there you go. It will present from the slide that you are clicked on in the editor screen. Okay, so let me exit out of this. You can exit right here. So if I was on this slide and I pressed present, it will present from that slide. Okay, so we can exit out of here and I'm back into the editor. Okay, so that's kind of the way the basics of it. Now you can also click the drop down menu and you can get present from the beginning. So say we were all the way back here at the end of your slide deck and you wanted to go, oh, I want to present from the beginning. You can just present from the beginning or do Control Shift plus F5, or just do present from the beginning, and then you are all set. Okay, so while we're on this screen, you can, as you're going through your slides, you can play it automatically. Okay, you can go forward, you can go back right from here, or you can just click anywhere on the slideshow to go forward. Now we already had those animations set up from our previous videos, so I'm just clicking through all that, and then there we go. To go back, you'd have to go to the previous button. Okay, there you go. Or you would go to the next slide. You can also navigate to different slides right here, right through this particular page, if you knew what particular number you want to go back and forth to. And as you hover away from that, that disappears. So as you hover back down, that reappears. Now, there's this cool pointer feature. So say we want to talk about this painting, and we want to talk about different aspects of it, the flag, but you gotta be careful because I just did it, if I click, it goes to the next slide. So I want to go back. You really can't click anywhere. You gotta just, you hover over and just use your mouse, all right, to hover over. But once you click, it will go to the next slide. You can just turn that off. Okay. Now, this is kind of a nice feature. Right now I'm in the full screen, presenting right from my browser. If I exit full screen, I can still go through the presentation, but it's not in the full screen view. This is useful, I think, because we can use a lot of going back and forth between tabs, maybe, of different things you are displaying, and you can go back to your presentation. Or if you want to just use something on your desktop, bring it up, go back to your browser without having to restart the presentation. This is useful if you're doing different things like that. So that's kind of a neat feature. You can then just go back to full screen right here, and you're back into the full screen. You can always exit your presentation. There's some minor settings. Open your speaker notes, printing, downloading. That's pretty much about it. Now, the notes is kind of neat because we can go to notes and it will bring up the screen that might have your speaker notes. Now, let me go out of here for a second. Let me go back into the editor and let me go over here because we really didn't talk about this that much. I don't really use this feature that much, but I know a lot of students do and a lot of business professionals do in terms of presentations. And if you want to add your speaker notes here, you could. Something like, see page 23 in the text. For an example, you can put links here, whatever you want, right? Okay. And I could open the presentation again with my presenter view, which then will have the presentation going. Now, obviously, if we had two screens here, you would leave this on your screen and only present this to the projector, all right? But now I can go to speaker notes, and here's my first, shows you the previous slide, and it goes right to it. It's showing what the next slide is, okay? And now there are my speaker notes on that particular slide. And I can go to the next, I can certainly now click, right? Do all that. I want to go back to my speaker notes. It's showing me everything I got. It's showing me the next slide that's coming up. I'm having a timer. If you want to know how long your presentation's taking, you can pause that or reset it, which is useful. You can navigate different slides right here. Very useful. Okay, or I can just keep on going back and forth to the next slide here, and then we're going. Or that goes to the next note. I apologize, making the note bigger, which is useful. I apologize. And then you can go to the previous slide, the next slide, and we are all set. Okay, and there's the next slide. I had no speaker notes here, so there we go. Now, here's a feature though that I think is really neat. If I go to Audience Tools, Okay, I want to start a brand new session. Let me make this bigger. And what's going to happen is you are going to, I'm turning this on, and let me turn it off. Okay, it's accepting questions. Now, what you're going to see is this little brief URL is going to come up on the presentation screen, and this is allowing people in the audience to ask you questions from their devices. Okay, right now it's set up that only people in my domain can ask questions. They have to be logged in to our domain, but I can open that up and I can say anyone. I say, okay, are you sure? Yep. And now if I minimize this on my presentation, I'll make it full screen, this will pop up. Okay, so now that I put that on, from the audience standpoint, they get this on their screen. So it says, this is the usual URL, the goo.gl, that's the shortener for Google websites, for Google URLs, /slides, then this will always be the unique code. So right now I'm going to show you on my screen, this is my phone. Let me exit this. Okay, here's my phone. And this is, my phone is showing me this. So I can now type in a question on my phone. Why is this painting so important? A question mark. Okay, and it says, now I have the option to either ask it anonymously or I'll put my name in there. And now on my phone, I'm going to press submit. Okay, now if I go back to, let me close out of here, and I go back to my speaker notes, go back to my presentation, Q&A, I'm seeing it now. So now this came up on my screen from the presenter's view. Oh, okay, great. And I can now just answer that question, or I can show my whole entire audience this question. If I press present, now the whole audience is seeing that particular question. Now I kind of went through the slide a little fast there, but let me go back to my speaker notes. Okay, and I could present it again. Okay, let me get out of here. And then now everybody is seeing that, okay, which is really kind of neat. Now on the phone, I can say, oh yeah, I like that question. If I was a viewer, and I go, oh yeah, and they would give it a thumbs up, or whatever the case may be. So kind of a neat way to engage your audience, whether from a business presentation, from an education presentation, you as a teacher presenting this, or as students also doing this. You have a lot of possibilities there. Okay, so I think those are some of the neat features of Google Slides and the way you present them. All right, so I hope this was a good video for you, and thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.